bringing you the latest from Utah State University's Uinta Basin Regional Campus. This is Aggie Update. Now, here's your host, Bob Petersen.
Thanks for joining us today on Aggie Update. This week's show, I'm joined with another USU student and employee, Raquel Petersen, an employee of USU as well. So we'll get to that in a moment. But thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I finally made it.
You've got such a wonderful last name, Raquel
Right?
Petersen, and I was reminded that it's spelled different than mine, so we had to do a little correction on the set. But Raquel, it's so fun to bring students here and to get to know them a little bit, and for our audience to see the makeup of our student body.
Right.
And I think they'd be quite surprised to know that our students come from really all over the country. Now, you're not that far away coming from Rangeley,
Right.
Colorado, but I'm curious to share with our audience your story a little
Right.
bit.
Well, I grew up in Rangeley. I lived there for 17 years, and the first opportunity I had, I moved out of town. I came to Vernal about 6 years ago, and I'm going to raise my family here, so I'm really happy to be in Vernal.
So it's not too far of a drive over, but were you born in Rangeley area?
Yes,
Okay.
and so was my mother.
Okay. So and she's still over there in
She
Rangeley?
is.
So it's not too far of trips in between to go visit one another?
Right.
And you have a young boy, a 5-year-old boy. What's his name?
Yes, his name is James.
So he may be watching, so you'll want to say hi, James.
Yep, he is very excited I get to be on TV today.
A movie star, right?
Yes.
Well, good. So you moved over, and did you move over primarily to attend USU?
No, not at all, actually. I was here for 5.5 years before I even thought about USU. So I came over here just for better employment opportunities. Once the economy started to fall down, then I decided to go to USU.
So you're not too far beyond the 17 that you just talked about, but being in Rangeley, I would imagine Rangeley, they have a wonderful CNCC over there,
Yes.
and and we have our program here. And I know there's some people going both places. Some of our students go to CNCC for dental hygiene,
Right.
but I think a lot of some Rangeley students you're probably aware of come over and make the travel to attend USU.
Right.
Did you have friends or acquaintances that did that come over to USU?
My aunt actually attended USU probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm not sure if she finished her full degree before she moved, but most of my friends continue on with CNCC and do the dental hygiene program. But I have noticed students actually coming here to get their prerequisites before they go over to Rangeley.
So it's not too far away to work both ends,
Right.
to go there or come here. Well, we're happy to have you here, and you're studying now. Tell us a little bit about your major and what led you into that area of study.
Well, I've always had a fondness for numbers, so I am actually double majoring in accounting and economics right now, and hopefully getting an emphasis on top of that, but I'm not quite sure which emphasis to go with yet.
So explain that, because you're in the Huntsman School of Business. You're matriculated. That's such an asset for our students, especially those who are pursuing business, to have the name of the John M. Huntsman School of Business, because that brings a lot of notoriety, a lot of attention.
Right.
Faculty, it gives a lot of attention to the program that helps recruit quality faculty members. So you're taking classes from faculty members not only here, but most of them from the Logan campus.
Yes.
Some wonderful top-notch faculty.
Right.
So accounting and economics.
Yes.
Wow.
After my first economics course, I realized how much I loved economics. I had never been in depth with it before. So after my 1500 class, I dove right into the 2000 level class.
So they have areas of emphasis in those areas, and what can you choose from?
Well, there's a big variety. You can get like microeconomics, macroeconomics, but hopefully what I do is pre-law economics.
So you're hoping to go into law school?
No, actually I
just
think
thinking-
that with the bachelor's in accounting, a bachelor's in economics, and then an emphasis with pre-law economics, pretty much I could get any CPA job that I ever wanted to, or start my own business.
She kind of sounds like she knows what she's doing.
Hope so.
And it's been really fun to talk with Raquel, because we're going to talk to her after the break about what she does for USU, but she'll tell me about her test time and upcoming tests and how well she does. She's doing wonderfully well as a student.
So far, so good.
And life as a single mother sometimes isn't always that easy.
Right.
And so there's those difficulties you have, but you're making it work.
Trying to.
And fortunately, you get to spend time at USU as an employee, and that probably helps you too.
It does, very much.
Well, when we come back, we're going to join with Raquel again and ask her questions about her employment at USU and get to know her even better. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Aggie Update. We're here again with USU student and employee Raquel Petersen. Raquel, thanks again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
A business or accounting economic double major, right?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned about the prospects of CPA, working with numbers, perhaps.
Yes.
So you're enthralled with working with numbers and like the business model.
Yes, I'm excited because the emphasis that I'm going into, I'm learning the applications. I can do equations all day long, but with USU, they really focus on applying that to real life situations.
Well, let's talk about the mode of delivery for a lot of the classes you're in. You're taking, I know you're experiencing your first online class.
I'm starting that
This summer, which surprises me because a lot of students usually have an online or two classes every semester. So you're an exception. You've taken a lot of the broadcast.
Yes.
And some live instruction.
Yes.
Is there much of difficulty with an IBC broadcast, for those of you who don't know, where you go in and watch the instructors on a big screen, bigger than life sometimes,
yes.
but they're able to see you, you see them, and it's just dual communication. Has there been any problems with that delivery?
I think it's fantastic. It gives us a lot of opportunities to work as collaborations from different sites. I can work with people in Logan or Moab or Price on a project for a class just online. We get on Canvas, collaborate through there. We have discussions every single week for my microeconomics, and it goes fantastic. I love it.
So, and there's probably no argument against the live classes, live instruction as well. You always value those where the instructor's in front of you, and that's always nice to have one of those.
With face-to-face or broadcast, the instructors are really great about getting back to you quickly if you have questions. So even with the farthest distance sites, they get back to me really quick.
Well, Raquel is a success story. She's done so well as a student. It's great to have you in our school. You know, it's even greater to have you as an employee, a facilitator at USU. And those of you who are attending school with us, if you're not aware of what a facilitator's job is, they pretty well run the place. During the daytime, they handle a lot of the requests that come in, certainly with Connie Johnson and our others in Roosevelt who are working the same way. You really have to know a great deal about our educational facility. Starting up the classes, getting them ready, hooking up the equipment, answering questions from how do I register and where is my class. You do an awful lot.
The way I look at it, it makes it easier because I'm a student. So I already know how to register myself for classes. I just teach the other students how to do the same.
That's a good way to look at it. You learn yourself because it helps you, but you can then you can kind of take on the role of every student because you know what they're feeling.
Right.
You know what they're going through, and so I know people surround themselves a lot with the student facilitators that are working with us. And I would just add that if students are contemplating maybe needing a good part-time job, maybe seek out Linda Atkin or somebody in one of our offices, because we periodically hire quite a few facilitators at a decent wage, part-time hours while you're going to school, and it's worked well for you.
Right. And Linda Atkin, she is amazing with getting us schedules that work for our life schedule. She understands that we have kids and families and want to do fun things on top of taking classes, so she'll work with you every single time you have a question.
Linda Atkin oversees the facilitators, and she does a great job. She has a very busy calling, if you will, and scheduling all the classes and where they're going to be. So you know, you get to meet with a lot of the students and see their concerns, and what do you draw upon from the students? How are they enjoying life at USU in the Uinta Basin, where you get to see them face to face every day?
Well, the great thing is our student government is actually voting for new student council right now. So everyone's really collaborating on how to better emphasize the student life as a real college campus. Instead of just having the distance where we could go to Logan, now we're bringing it to us. So we're just excited about really working together as a student body.
And I'm seeing that progress more and more. In the 10, 11 years I've been here, the student council has, you know, they've just gone bigger and bigger, and they've had more responsibilities, and they're bringing that student life, I think, into our facility. Over 600 students now, like you. That's not counting our high school students of 700 or 800. So yeah, it's becoming more of a campus feel to it, even though a lot of our students who are attending are non-traditional students who they just come to go to school and they go home. They've got a lot of things going on, job and all, but we're still reaching out to that traditional student. And you're kind of in the middle of that.
And the great thing about it is we are working so hard to get different study groups together. When we have 4 or 5 people that can get together even once a week, it's a real benefit to all of us. Just teaching someone else what you've already learned re-emphasizes it for you.
Well, it's so good to have you on the set, Raquel Petersen. I'm anxious to visit with new students at USU. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you.
That's it for today on Aggie Update. For more information about Utah State University Uinta Basin, visit us at our website at uintabasin.usu.edu. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Raquel Petersen, and I'm an Aggie. Oh, I stuttered.